I've got a confession to make. One firstly to you that you don't know about yet, and also one to the wider public of something I got wrong. So on Friday I played golf, and I'll come on to that in a moment. But I took a club out the storage room to try.
Okay.
And
Can I guess?
Yeah.
What would you have taken out the storage room to try? I don't think it would have been a driver.
Okay. I'm not saying anything. You've got a...
Wow. That surprised me already. Now, I had the Callaway mini driver, so it couldn't have been that. I had it in my boot. Would it have been a putter? A putter would have surprised me.
Colder.
Oh, gee. A driver?
You almost boiling hot a minute ago.
I'm going to go driver then.
You were almost boiling hot a minute ago, though.
Oh, putter?
No, go back to what you had in the car.
Mini driver?
Well, I couldn't have took the Callaway, could I?
So you took the TaylorMade?
You're correct. I wanted to give this mini driver a try, the Callaway one, and I looked and it had gone. I remembered you taking it. So I looked at the TaylorMade one and thought, you know what? For just a one-off and playing golf, obviously not on camera, I've never really tried one other than the simulator. And I've always poo-pooed mini drivers, said I don't get them, I hate them, but borderline hate them. Wow. My mind's changed. And let me explain to you, Rick, why. So I played golf at the London club in a golf day on Friday with Manners Golf, who like a cool golf brand, apparel brand, etc. And I'll come on to the round of golf in a moment because it was very, very fun. However, this mini driver has maybe changed my life. Wow. Let me sell it to you, Rick. Let me sell it to you. It's not a mini driver. Mini drivers are not small drivers. They are big 3-woods.
Do you think they've marketed it wrong?
Correct. So I took it as a one. I took my own 3-wood out the bag and put this in the bag. I thought, you know what? I'm not going to start off with it. I'm going to hit my own driver. Par 5 to start. We started on hole 18. It was a par 5 and actually crushed my driver. So I was dead happy. Got there. It was a par 5 now. Because it was Texas Scramble, obviously you had the luxury of other people hitting shots first and put one into play, etc. Had about 250 left in. Hit this mini driver off the deck. Looks a bit big behind the ball. Looks a little bit, oh, can I get this up in the air? But you have to trust that you can. Rick's chair just fell on him.
Carry on.
Hit this mini driver off the deck and absolutely smoked it. Like, seriously smoked it.
Just a quick one. Matt, a task for this week. Can we order new chairs, please, for the podcast?
Yeah. And this mini driver honestly came off the face like a driver would, but yeah, it was like a 3-wood to hit. And then hit it about 6 times throughout the round. Once off a tee, thinned it a bit, but it went out there. And then about 4 or 5 other times on the I think there was 5 par 5. So again, I was going for the green. On one hole, we were 260 away. I honestly hit this mini driver to 6 foot away, and we tapped it in for an eagle. And it massively changed my perspective. So what I thought to myself was, when would I use this club? Maybe I won't all the time, but I would never use it, I don't think, instead of my driver, because your driver is obviously 460cc head. It's more forgiving. It should be easy to hit. However, occasionally, not very often, but occasionally there are times where 3-wood is to play off a tee, isn't it? Because it's like, well, driver might go too long or the fairway's fatter where your 3-wood would go, etc. But you're hitting 3-wood. When you think about 3-wood, they are quite small heads. And you sometimes look at it going, it feels quite nerve-wracking to hit this. A mini driver, however, is obviously so much bigger. It's like, this feels like a forgiveness of a driver, but still obviously that's a bit smaller. And then off the deck, honestly, it absolutely flies.
I'm gonna question the one thing.
Go on.
Seriously though, if you weren't playing Texas Scramble, would you have gone for that many times with a 3-wood off the deck into par 5s?
Well, that's the question.
So I know your game enough. I don't think you would have done.
I probably wouldn't. There was one where we had this over water and I hit a 3-iron and it honestly crushed it and it went short, went into the water. So I said, let me hit another one just to practice. It doesn't count for this, obviously. Put it down. A bit of a nice lie, admittedly, but put it down, it's light rough. Hit this mini drive and put it like 20 foot over this water. It was unreal. So you're right, maybe I wouldn't have hit it as much. But I think you have to trust it when you put it behind the ball that it will get up in the air. You can take a little divot with it. But I was very much impressed. I really was impressed.
To the extent where you would take your 3-wood out? For
the short term, yeah. I don't know if I'd want it. It's one of those clubs, though, having said all that, I kind of counter myself a little bit now. I feel like if you had one bad round with it, you could lose all trust. You could. Off the deck, you'd be like, what the heck? It's too big. It's hard to hit. But I can only go for what I've tried so far. And as I said, don't see it as a mini driver, see it as a big 3-wood, which some brands do actually do, like bigger plus 3-woods or whatever. But yeah, it was interesting.
I suppose, going back to the marketing, have they marketed it wrong? It's a big 3-wood, just not as sexy, is it?
No, nowhere near as sexy.
Like, imagine if they said, oh, we brought out a big 3-wood, I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But a mini driver.
Oh, it's...
Oof.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with the Callaway one. I wasn't. And that's why, borderline, it was in the back of my car. Not that I'm particularly looking to put it in play at the moment. Where I would see huge value, let's say you go and play. I play a real mixture of golf courses, as you do and as we do on the channel. Sometimes it's 7,200 yards.
Yeah.
And a driver is absolutely necessary. No questions asked. But there's also courses that you think, you know what, this is a little fiddly one today. It's a little 6,500 yarder, and it's tree lined and it's tight, and driver's not the play.
Yeah.
You know, when we filmed at Pastures a few times.
Yeah, yeah.
I've actually never played there, but I'm honour member, but never played there. I wouldn't hit driver ever there, but Mini 3 would, potentially.
Big 3 would, Mini driver.
Yeah, big driver, Mini driver, big 3 would.
Well, that's it. And like I said, it felt like a little bit that I had more options in the bag. Even though I took 3 wood out for that, it's obviously a straight swap. It felt like I still had a 3 wood off the deck, albeit if I went a little bit further, but not loads. But then it felt like if I did hit it off a tee, which I did once, I hit one really thin, but it still motored out. It was interesting.
What about if you set it into like a 4 wood loft?
Yeah, could work. I got it at 13.5.
Yeah,
the weight
quite
in the
strong,
back.
that, isn't it? Because if you did it at like 15 degrees,
it's definitely
15 and a
option.
half degrees, 16 degrees even. Because of the size, I think it'll go further than the 3 wood. But you've got that little bit of versatility. Like you could chop one up and hit a high one into a par 5.
I think it's a club that, honestly, after my little brief experience, and it might be a short love affair, might hate it, but I think more higher handicappers for sure should have a look at them. But I said, see it as a big 3 wood and keep your driver in the bag.
Did I dream something recently? And it might be a press release that we received that might be still under embargo, that a brand is bringing out a driver that I think I suggested not long ago, like a high lofted, shorter shafted driver.
Can't think of a brand that I've seen, but it might be.
Starts with P, rhymes with ding.
Pong? I don't know. I don't remember seeing that, but it might be.
I feel like I've read something in an email that was like, and I remember reading it going, that's like my idea, because I still think, honestly, hand on heart, like a 16-degree driver with like a 3 wood, same size of a driver head, but with a 3 wood shaft, honestly, I think would be game changing for the 20-odd%, 25%. I'd even go as far as 30% of golfers who cannot hit driver. I honestly think that would be a game changer.
It's definitely food for thought. But moving slightly on to that day I had, can I please explain to you how I have now finally, after playing golf for, 25 years, I found the perfect golf for me. I've found what I love.
Texas Scramble. little corporate day,
so
Texas Scramble.
Let me explain to you about this day. So I said it was down in Kent. It was a long way away. I went down the night before, and it was a great day. Played with Neil from here and 2 guys, Simon and Jack, who work for a golf company called Spanish Hands. And I met some other people. I met sort of the 4 brothers who make content on
did
YouTube.
You meet those guys?
They were really nice guys. Chatting to a few people. The golf,
I really like them. They're funny.
Yeah, they were really cool. And played the London Golf Club, which was phenomenal. The international course, it was a really nice course. We should actually film there one time. It's a long way away, but phenomenal golf course.
Well, it was at one point in the bidding run for the Ryder Cup.
All right.
At one point.
Well, there's 2 courses. The international course, which is the one that I played, and that's had World Match Play and Regional Open qualifying. And there's another course, the Heritage, which has actually had, I think, European Tour events. So I think they're both phenomenal.
I played one many years ago, and I just remember a lot of par 3s being over water.
Yeah, well, that was definitely the one I played. Had that downhill, yeah, it was awesome. It was really good fun. And you're right, it was 4-ball Texas Scramble, so there was absolutely no pressure. It was a very relaxed atmosphere. We had buggies, which you need around there, by the way. The course has definitely been built for buggies. We had a speaker on, so not many times have I played golf with music. A handful. It was phenomenal. Really enjoyed it, and the whole kind of vibe was just so much more like chilled, to the point where if you ask me how did I play, ask me.
How did you play, Guy?
Played well. Hit it really well. Right?
Nice.
That's how I believe I played, okay? I put 12 golf balls in my bag at the start of the day, right? A brand new dozen, and I'll come on to that as well in a moment. Tried Vice golf balls to see what they were like. Impressed. Put 12 balls in the bag. I think I've lost a few today, actually, because we're in a Texas Scramble, going for shots, blind tee shots, didn't end up finding it. But my mindset was, I played really well. I lost 9 balls, Rick. I lost 9 golf balls and left feeling like I played well.
That's one every other hole.
It's one every other hole because, admittedly, hands up, there was a couple of tee shots, honestly, I smoked them and the line wasn't correct, which I didn't know, so that's fine. A couple I went for it and went in the water, why not? It's Texas Scramble. But what I mean is, if I was playing with a scorecard in my hand, yes, I wouldn't have gone for all those shots, admittedly, but I still would have lost golf balls. Might have lost 3, 4, 5 golf balls, maybe. I lost 9 and came away feeling like I had a great day. And there was we came, I think, 3rd in the end, although I left before the presentation. Wasn't worried about how I really did. It was just great fun. And it made me think, I said this before, and I'll say it again, golf doesn't just have to be about score. That little bit of fun in the 4-ball and that little bit of camaraderie, it was brilliant.
I must admit, Texas Scramble or whatever people want to call it.
I can see you wind up. I reckon you're going to slap it in a minute. Do it. That sounded weird.
Who did someone do something again recently, like a sports person, like grabbed one and ate a fly?
You've been having some weird dreams. Did you actually do drugs at this festival? Because there's no way that Pingerman met in that driver you've mentioned.
They are. They're going to call it the Pong. And scramble format. You never finish a scramble format unhappy.
Never.
Because you've always contributed in some way.
It was so fun.
You've either held a great putt and you could have played horrendous. Like Neil.
Yeah.
I spoke to him briefly this morning. He obviously brand new to golf. I bet he loved it.
He did.
Because he wasn't trying to count every single shot he had. And I know he hit a wonderful shot into a par 3, which I've heard lots about today. But like, that's his one takeaway. Now, if he'd played 18 hole stroke play and shot buddy 110 and lost 15 balls,
it's a different story, isn't it?
Totally different.
Honestly, I know I'm really stressing the point, but I really did enjoy it. I'm thinking when I play golf now about obviously enjoying it and having fun. I'm also thinking about what can I take away from this? What can I learn? What can I say on the podcast about my day? And it just made me think, again, I grew up as a junior golfer, stroke play, week in, week out. And I don't necessarily look back at that and regret it, because that was how golf is often played. Obviously Stableford as well, but very much about score, white tees, everything's proper, And the more I'm playing golf now in a very friendly way, and certainly when I don't play with you on camera, I'm just playing with friends or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's like, I know it sounds silly, but if you are trying to play a mini driver off a fairway and there's a bit of a better lie, does it really matter if you put on nicer lines, hit it? If you're not keeping score, not taking anyone's money in the competition, enjoy it. I think I'm trying to look at it more like now, when I'm walking, certainly, I'm going to be walking 18 holes, carrying a golf bag, it's great exercise, just have fun. Because I just think putting a score in it, it does make it so much more pressurised.